Suits on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today.
This is Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. This program highlights issues about wedding, its preparation, post-wedding and marital issues. Couples, the stakeholders relive their most special moments, the rigors of wedding preparation and the joy therein. And today we're going to be looking at an amazing topic, purposeful and productive courtship. Isn't that amazing? And of course, I have a psychologist in the house with me. I'm talking about Samuel Ajayi. It's beautiful to have you in the studio.
Thank you. Good evening.
As you can see, our topic today, purposeful and productive courtship. This is really amazing, and I'm sure that, of course, the world will appreciate us for bringing this topic to their doorsteps. Exactly. So when we return from this short break, we're going to dive straight into this topic. Do stay glued to your screen as we go on a short break.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
From the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Wedding Banter on Atlantic Television Network. Yeah, I told you before we went on the break that we are going to be looking at something amazing today, purposeful and productive courtship. That is to say that, first of all, before you court, your courtship needs to be purposeful. You can't just jump into courtship and start misbehaving and start doing anyhow. Before you even walk up to someone and say that I want us to do life together, it has to be purposeful. Where are you seeing yourself in the next 5 years? Why are you seeing yourself that moment? Because everything is for tomorrow and not for now. And then your courtship also needs to be productive. You can't just be in someone's life. You are neither here nor there. You have to be known for something. You have to be a lifter. You have to be a builder, be it a man or a woman. Forget that thing people say as a woman is a home builder. A man also builds, no matter how busy you are. What if your partner is no longer there? That's your wife or maybe girlfriend or fiance and fiancé. What if? So that is why we came up today with this amazing topic, purposeful and productive courtship. Now it's not all about money, because that is what youths are doing these days. That's what is happening. Today we'll be looking at the marital choice and purposeful courtship. So now in general, Mr. Ajayi, it's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you once
yes,
again
he is a psychologist, so you can see that we mean business. I mean, it is a big deal right now. So in general, we're going to be considering what influence a person's choice of a life partner, including social, economic, and personal value is. What are those things, Mr. Ajayi?
Thank you. Socio-economic?
Yes, we have economics, socio-economic. We also have value.
Value.
Yes, most importantly.
Thank you so much. As we grow, we develop value system. And as we grow, we meet with people with same view, people that have a kind of appreciation for the kind of value you are building. And if you are going to be in a relationship with an individual, your value system is very important.
Okay.
In fact, the values are key. There must be a synergy. There must be an understanding. There must be a correlation between the value of the man and that of the lady. What I value should be appreciated. What she values, I should appreciate. So value is very, very important. So also the economic life, the socio-economic life. How socially active is the brother or the sister, the man or the lady? What about the socio-economic life? How compatible are their economic life? So these things are very, very important while we are making a marital choice or while we are going into a relationship that we call courtship, so that we'll be able to have a seamless, a smooth journey.
All right, I wanted you to talk about that because I don't know, I think there should be a thin line between value and purpose. Since we're talking about purposeful and productive courtship.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have something that you value, you might not know the purpose of the thing.
Exactly.
So there must be value before you think of purpose, right?
Exactly.
Or is there purpose before value?
To most of the time,
They work hand in hand.
yes.
All right.
They are interwoven.
Interwoven. All right.
Exactly.
So now let's look at the main topic for today before we proceed.
Okay.
I just wanted you to lay down that understanding before we move on.
Okay.
So now, talking about productive and purposeful courtship, what do you understand by that?
Right. Thank you so much. We have had series of lots of persons that are in relationship for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years.
Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but what makes it to be unacceptable is when nothing is coming out of it.
All right, so continue. I wanted to know that so I won't forget.
So, if we're going to be relating, say we're in courtship, we must be able to answer few questions. What are we achieving with the courtship? How long will the courtship last? And what value do I have that I want you to understand and imbibe? What do I need to learn from you? What do I need to make you learn from me? What are the things we put to table that will make our life and our journey after the courtship to be worthwhile? That is why we are thinking about issue of purposeful courtship. That is, at the end of the day, when we get into marriage, when we cross the bridge of the wedding, we should be able to look back and say, yes, our courtship has fulfilled purpose. Have I learned something from you? Have I learned how to relate better with you? Have I understand your temperament? Do I have a good understanding about your personality? Can I relate better with you? Can I predict certain things about you? So if the courtship has not been well handled, then I won't be able to probably predict what will get you angry, predict where you will be part-time, predict how to relate with you, predict what even to give to you that you will appreciate. It means our courtship has not been productive.
Okay, so talking about a purposeful courtship, I keep ringing this so that you will know what we're talking about in case you're just joining us. What defines purposeful courtship and how does it differ from the casual dating?
Thank you.
Yes.
Casual dating has no goal, has no objective. Purposeful courtship has a goal. The goal is we're getting married and we have so number of time, months or year to prepare. What and what do we need to learn? What and what do we need to understand? That is purposeful courtship. It's different from somebody say, oh, meet my friend. And 3 years down the line, still meet my friend. And 4 or 5 years, she hasn't known anybody around you. 4 or 5 years, you haven't known anybody around her. 4 or 5 years, you haven't even probably say, please, how are we going to spend the rest of our life together? Nothing like that has come up. Then it has no purpose. And if you're just together, in fact, to a man that is living such a life, in my own terminology, I call it a canopy relationship. In a way that I'm just making you, people are seeing you with me, they believe we're going to get married, and I'm not making any move that will end us, that will take us to a place of marriage.
So the canopy does, that canopy represents a caging?
Something like that.
Okay.
I just cage you, and probably there are people that might be interested in going out with you, see me with you all the time, they believe that we are getting married, and if I'm not making any move, then it's of no use. It has no purpose. And that's why we must be able to understand it from that perspective, a purposeful courtship. That, oh, it's ending into marriage.
But is it possible that casual dating can actually lead to a purposeful dating?
Yes, of course.
But we call it courtship anyways.
Yes, yes, yes. When we start, we may not, okay, let's go out. Let me know you. Can I meet you? Can I know you? And we're relating. I have value that I have within me. I'm trying to check out, does she have this? Does she have that? Does she relate this way? What gets her angry? Can we really relate? Are we compatible? These are things I'll be checking out. Maybe 1-2 months, I begin to see green light. Then I'll begin to get closer. The intimacy will be growing, will be coming together. And at a point, I say, wow, please, can we make this relationship more intimate? Can I meet you? Can I meet your people? Can I know your parents? Do I know more things about you? What are your plans? When do you intend to get married? Okay. When do you intend to get settled down? So I will now begin to ask certain questions that ordinary or casual dating will not bring up. Somebody with an ideology of casual dating will not ask, will be running away from certain questions. Questions like, when do you want to settle down? Questions like, how many children do you want to have? Questions like, where will you want to live after wedding? Now, somebody that doesn't want to settle down with you will be dodging such a question. So that he will not get himself involved in what he never planned for. So in casual relationship, people don't want to commit themselves. But in purposeful courtship, commitment is the hallmark. I'm ready to commit myself. I'm ready to get you committed. And we should be able to look at each other and face reality. In casual relationship, casual dating, they are not facing reality. But this time around, I'm settling down with you. We must face reality. I must be open. I must allow. Vulnerability is high in purposeful courtship. In casual relationship, casual dating, vulnerability is not high. I am not vulnerable. I will not expose myself to you in a way that will be derogatory, in a way that you see my weakness. But when we're dealing with purposeful courtship, I'm not hiding anything from you. You need to know me, both strength and weakness. You're going to live the rest of your life with me. So we must have, this is what differentiates purposeful and productive courtship from ordinary or casual dating.
Okay, so if you said that casual dating can actually lead to purposeful courtship,
yeah.
Right? So what can we say are the key elements to enhance that mutual understanding? Because most times we could start something that we felt is not really what we want.
Yeah.
But in the process, we realize that it's becoming something serious.
Yeah.
So how can we understand those key elements?
Thank you.
That can help?
Thank you. Now, there are key elements that can help. Key elements. For instance, maturity. Very, very important. Maturity. Physical maturity, emotional maturity, financial maturity. Maturity is very, very key. It's an element that will enable us to move from the level of casual to a better level.
Yeah.
Maturity will help us to like share things. Maturity will help us to have better understanding. Maturity will help us to look into issues not only from selfish perspective. Maturity will help us to put the person into consideration. When I'm planning, when I'm thinking of the future, I'm not thinking about it alone. From the mature mind, I'll be able to put into consideration, oh, this person, what effect will my decision have over her or over him? These are things that maturity will help. Another key element is what I call counsel. Counsel is another thing that is very, very key that can help in achieving purposeful and productive courtship. Counsel, what I mean by that is sometimes you are not very clear about certain things. Asking questions, meeting people that can help out, meeting people that can shed light on the gray areas, they are part of counsel. So it's very, very important. Maturity is important. Counsel is important. So these are key elements that can help us to really move up in the ladder of purposeful and productive courtship.
All right, thank you, Mr. Samuel. But let's look at this. You said something earlier when we started. You talked about people staying in 1 to 10 years in courtship and it's not leading to anywhere.
Yeah.
And especially when the partner is shying away from answering certain questions like how many children are we going to have, when are we going to get married, when, and all those kind of important questions. But in a situation that you've stayed with someone for 10 years or more, or better still less, and then the person in question is very interested in all those vital questions, and the person is ready to go into that conversation with you, but it seems that going to meet the parents who pay something is not a problem, not that the two families have not actually known themselves.
Okay.
So will you say that this is a purposeful courtship, having known that you have stayed for more than, I want to say required years, but again, let me ask, are they required years, yes or no?
Thank you.
Just yes or no first.
There are factors that will determine that.
Okay, all right, so we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So in this kind of situation that I just listed out, will you still call that a purposeful courtship?
Now, if they are willing to discuss those sensitive things,
and they willing, and they have actually talked about it.
it's purposeful.
It's purposeful.
Which means it's landing them somewhere better.
Irrespective of the duration.
Yeah.
But are there durations for the better durations for
There
courtship?
are factors that will determine duration.
Okay, so now let's talk about that.
All right. For instance, if two persons are in a relationship, both of them are living in the same city, compared to another set of persons, they are in a relationship, one is in Nigeria, the other one is in America or another country. Now, the people that are living in the same state, same city, they see often. they have time to discuss better. They visit, they relate. In courtship, you don't base your knowledge to what is being discussed. There are certain things you observe, you discover things yourself. Now, in a situation where somebody is living in another country and you are in courtship, automatically that is going to elongate the period of courtship.
Okay.
You won't expect people that meet today and within 6 months they are not living in the same country and they want to get married. They may not know certain things about each other compared to people who are living in the same city.
But Mr. Samuel, remember that we are living in a technology world where you can actually do all of those things through a cell phone. Exactly.
Communication is done by technology. There are some observation that you will not get the best
until your presence.
Yeah. For instance, if somebody is living abroad and the other person is living in Nigeria or in another country, and you don't have opportunity to visit, you only depend on the information he is releasing to you. There are certain things you will not know about the person. For instance, a young man in a relationship with a lady and wants to know more about the lady. There are certain things that should be learned, that should be known about the lady. A man cannot learn about the cooking ability of a lady that lives in another country. A man cannot know about the hygienic standard of a lady that lives in another country. A man cannot know about how organized an individual is when they live in another country, except when you visit. When you visit a lady or visit a parent, a lady that is living with a parent, you visit. You are not visiting because you just want to go and visit. There are certain things you will learn when you get there. You look at how the lady is interacting with the parent. You look at how the lady is interacting with the siblings. You look at how the mother and the lady are interacting. These are part of things that nobody will tell you. You will learn it, you will know it by observation, you will learn it, you will know it by you being present. This cannot be done when you are away. So that's what can contribute to elongating the period of courtship when the distance is far. It's not only the distance that can elongate that. Okay. There are some other factors. For instance, if there are some targets that have been placed and it's understandable, we are both agreed about it, that we will not get married until I finish a program I am running. If the lady, probably there are people that get married in 200 level. There are people that get married even when they are still writing WAEC or writing JAM. They have grown up, they have made money, they are matured in certain other areas. But they said, I want to become a graduate before I get married. And I'm going to spend 4 years in school. I will not get married before my service year. Automatically, that will elongate the period of courtship.
Okay.
So these are factors that can really elongate the period of. So these are things that must be put into consideration. That's why we say purposeful and productive courtship. So we know that what is the goal behind our courtship? How long will it be? What are the factors? Will you finish your studies, or am I doing a business? I'm expecting a result before we settle down in marriage. Okay. Or do I have a project? I want to settle. There are people that say, I don't want to get married into a rented apartment. I want to get married as a lamb. I want to live in my house. I want to live in my house with my wife from day one. So if I'm doing a project, I'm not yet finished with it. Maybe it will take me 2 years, 3 years to finish the building project. And we have agreed we're going to get married into that. Automatically it will elongate the period of our courtship. So these are factors that can determine how long a courtship. Character flaw can also elongate. If we're in courtship and I notice there are certain traits, certain behavior that I don't like, but I want to marry this lady. And I said, this I want us to work on. I need you to work on this. This anger is fierce. This anger is too much. Can we work on it? Say, okay, I will try. And I've not seen any result from that trial. I will look for a way to elongate the courtship to see that there is a change in the traits, the attribute, the character, the flaw is better before we go into marriage. So these are different factors that can determine how long courtship will be, and that's why we are talking about purposeful and productive. So we have a purpose. For how long will it be? What is the purpose for making such a long period? Okay. That's why we take purposeful and productive courtship. So if we are not seeing results, then it's not productive.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, because I know that a lot of motivational speakers will just come up and say, as a woman, you're not supposed to date up to 7 years. As a man, you're not supposed to court up to 3 years. At the least, it should be is 1 year, and all of those. And then a lot of persons yielded into this advice, get in there, and then you realize that the person you married, you don't know the person, you don't know your partner.
That's true.
But we know that you can never know someone completely.
That's
until
true.
The day eternity calls.
I agree with you.
So this is an eye-opener that you have given us, that being in courtship for 7 years is not a crime.
It's not.
As long as you have expectations.
Exactly.
As long as you are seeing positive results.
Exactly.
Being in courtship, if you're lucky enough to get married to your partner in a year time or in 2 years, is also good for you, as long as you can maneuver it. Whatever thing you see, you take it, because marriage is for better, for worse. Someone says it's wet luck. When you wet, they lock you and throw away the key.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
Oh, wow. So that is a very good eye-opener, and we are saying very thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
for that.
Thank you.
All right, so let's move on. And then in a psychological and emotional aspect, how do attachment styles and past experience shape marital choices? And what psychological benefit does this purposeful courtship provide? I know that you have answered that one a little bit, but let's look at the first one that I asked.
That is past experience.
Yes. How does it shape?
That's a big one.
A big one.
Now, there is nobody on earth that is talking about marriage that does not have a past. And in our past, we have positive, we have negative. And it shapes choice making. And that's why there are certain things that I love to tell people that are getting married, that they must discuss before they say, yes, I do. They should discuss their upbringing. Where did he or she grew up from?
Very important.
Who parents him? Who parents her? Somebody that is parented by a disciplinarian is going to be different from somebody that is parented by somebody with a laissez-faire attitude. So, the background, the past experience and exposure will shape marital choice. Somebody, for instance, who is coming from a background of a very strong disciplinarian, he will run away from certain set of persons. She will run away from certain set of persons. As far as, because the value system that have been inculcated into them, we automatically see them and dodge them. We automatically see them, whereas there are other people whose value system will be attractive to them. So these are things that can shape the marital choice. So somebody who has previous, for instance, somebody have a previous disappointment, that's another one, and he has not really healed up. He will not be willing to jump into a new relationship. So when a lady is coming and a young man is interested in her, but the young man has already been disappointed, he will be very careful. He will not rush. He will not just, it will take him time before asking the main question. The main question that will close them up. The main question that will settle the mind of the lady will still be will be placed on suspense for longer period than necessary, because the man is still trying to check. I hope this one will not be like the other one. I hope this one will not misbehave. I hope this one will not do this and do that. So these are things that previous experience can do to shape the marital choice. Now, in another way, a lady that was disappointed also, will not want to say yes easily. She wants to be very sure that this man is serious.
This is another way of prolonging courtship.
Yes. And that's why it has a way of shaping the marital choice. It has a way of shaping who you say yes to, who you make proposal to. These are all part of previous experience, previous exposure, previous background.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel Ajayi.
You're welcome.
Like I said, this productive and purposeful courtship is not something we can just dissect in 30 minutes. So we are going to come back here again to talk about this, maybe part 2. This is part 1. So bear in mind that next week we're going to come up with this topic again, part 2, and then also dissect other things. If you have questions, you can drop it on the comment section so that we will tackle that when we come next week. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
All right, our viewers, we hope you had a wonderful moment with us. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Imaklata Ibrikana. You can join us on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. Also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thanks for watching and continue to stay connected on all ATN socials till we come your next time. Good evening.
Live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact